Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajadanarangana Yasodanandana Brajadanarangana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajadanarangana Yasodanandana Brajadanarangana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajadanarangana Yasodanandana Brajadanarangana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Brahmachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari. Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama. Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Hari Bala, Hari Bala, Hari Bala, Nitai Gaura Hari Bala, Hari Nitai Gaura Hare Bala, Hare Bala, Hare Bala, Gaura Hare Bala. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Sri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai, Shri Gonithai Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Purnima Ki Jai, Gaura Purnima. Put this on top. No, leave it. Put this on top of that. Yes. Yeah, all right. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Gaura Purnima Ki Jai. So today is our great fortune that we're again celebrating the appearance of our beloved Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. So, of course, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are many wonderful stories and explanations given by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami about the personality of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also the whole Pancha Tattva. And indeed, when Srila Prabhupada was going on the boat to America, he was feeling a little ill. He said he took great solace in reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I'll just read some verses glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaura Daya Pushpavanto Chitrasando Tamo Nudo. A very famous verse by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gaura to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. So this verse, Srila Prabhupada would quite often chant when he was in Sridham Mayapur. In one year, I forget which year, but he gave in the morning, instead of Srimad Bhagavatam class, he was giving Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Must have been the 76, because at that time Chaitanya Charitamrita had just been published. Now I've said this many times that Srila Prabhupada didn't know whether he would live long enough to translate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He had given one book, the Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. That was a summary of the life and instructions and leelas of Lord Chaitanya that we still have and we're still distributing, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And also he did one small book based upon Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that we were distributing. Before we had Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he took one chapter and it was called Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. It was just a small little book, and he thought it very important that people, his disciples, devotees, and people in general understood about Pancha Tattva. Pancha Tattva Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Surupakam Bhakta Vataram Bhakta Kam Namami Bhakta Shakti Kam is a very famous verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that tells about the whole Pancha Tattva. And of course, when we go to Sridham Mayapur, as we have many temples around the world, we have all Pancha Tattva deities. Here we have Gaura, but Sridham Mayapur we have Pancha Tattva deities, and in the Temple of Vedic Planetarium, we were just all in Mayapur last week or the week before we were there, and they opened the Lord Nrsinga wing of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium, which was very wonderful. But also behind the stage, in the front of the stage, behind us we were sitting, they made a replica of the altars, how they will look when the temple is open. They're hoping to open the main temple by 2026. The whole building won't be finished. The building will be completed over the years. But at least the temple room, of course the Nrsinga wing, even though they opened, it wasn't completely finished, but enough that they had the altar and everything was finished. And they had a replica of Lord Nrsinga deity from the temple room. Now they're going to move Lord Nrsinga deity when they move all the deities. When the Panchatattva comes and when Radha Madhava Astashaki Brinda come and Lord Nrsinga, all the deities will be moved hopefully in 2026. And so, but at this opening of the Nrsinga wing, they had Lord Nrsinga deity, looked exact replica, same size, everything, of Lord Nrsinga in the temple room. And I don't know, someone told me the deity was made of, could have been clay, but someone told me actually resin. So he's there for some time until the main deity comes, and very beautiful. And then in the main temple room, they hope to have the main temple room finished. Of course, all the balconies and the floors going up, they won't be finished. And of course, the dome on the top, that won't be finished. But by 2026, they hope to have the temple room finished and the altars finished, everything like that, and actually open the temple so people can come inside and see the deities. But the replica was there, the altar replica was there, And on one side, when you're looking at the deities, on one side is all the acharyas, murtis of the acharyas, and they had those murtis there. They will put the permanent ones later when they open, but they had ones exactly the same, and all the different acharyas going right through, and they're on one altar. And then in the middle is Sri Panchatattva, and on the right-hand side is Sri Sri Radha Madhava, Astashaki Brinda. All the gopis are there. So very beautiful looking, and the altar was looking just like it will when it is open. But Panchatattva is in the middle, and Panchatattva Makam Krishnam, that we know that 5 to Panchatattva, the 5 spiritual truths are all there in Sri Panchatattva, in the positions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda and Advaita Acharya. These are the great Prabhus. These are all the Vishnu Tattva. Of course, Mahaprabhu, we call Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. We don't call Nityananda Mahaprabhu, nor do we say Advaita Mahaprabhu. We just say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is original. He is the original, from the others are expanded. So the Lord is the original, and of course He's a combination of Radha and Krishna come to experience Radharani's love. So this is Krishna, original Godhead. So this is an absolute spiritual truth. And all the spiritual truths are represented in Panchatattva. So then we have immediate expansion, just like from Krishna, immediate expansion. On one side is Lord Balaram, on the other side is Radharani. So Lord Balaram, of course, come again, is Lord Nityananda. So the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is another spiritual truth, eternal position. So many expansions are there, especially in the Vaikuntha. So many expansions are there. So this is represented in Lord Nityananda. And of course the incarnation, Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya represents the incarnation of the Mahavishnu, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, the Kiridakshaya Vishnu incarnated in the world. So that Advaita Acharya, of course it is said Advaita Acharya, a combination of Sadashiva, Mahavishnu. Actually, Sadashiva, original Shiva, is actually the Mahavishnu. And so he's expanded. And so he is incarnation. So we have incarnation, expansion, and incarnation means come to the world, but in this supreme position. So these 3 truths are there with Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and Advaita Acharya. And then on the other side, Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit represents, he is Srimati Radharani. Ladini Shakti, internal potency. Internal potency. Sri Gadadhar Pandit is coming into the world along with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Said that he was 1 year younger than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Gadadhar Pandit manifests a little bit different mood to Srimati Radharani in the spiritual world, because he manifests a mood of more reserved, more subdued. A little bit more withdrawn. He didn't want to interfere with the mood that Krishna was trying to experience in the form of Lord Chaitanya. He was trying to experience Radharani's love and her ecstasy in regard to himself, in regard to Krishna. So Gadadhar, Radharani in the form of Gadadhar, doesn't want to interfere with that mood. If manifesting fully as Radharani, perhaps Krishna could not fully taste the mood of Radharani in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So Gadadhar Pandit is manifest a little bit more subdued. He's not like Radharani. Radharani in the spiritual world, he is Radharani, but he's not manifesting the same mood. Now Radharani in the spiritual world is known as left-wing gopi. Sometimes she's very subdued with Krishna, sometimes she's a little bit fiery with Krishna. And so Gadadhar Pandit was not like that. He was never fiery with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was always very subdued. So he was manifesting more the mood of right-wing gopi. Right-wing gopi means more subdued, very sweet, just trying to please the husband and so on and so forth. So this is Gadadhar Pandit, internal potency. This is another absolute spiritual truth. Pleasure, Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency. So we have Supreme Godhead, expansion, incarnation, internal potency, and then Srivas Thakur, who is Narad Muni come again. It represents Jiva, Jiva Shakti, Jiva Tattva. So all the spiritual truths are there in Panchatattva. The Jivas, the internal potency, the original Godhead, the expansion, and the incarnation. Of course, there are many other varieties of spiritual lila and activity and expansions and so on, but these are so Lord Chaitanya decided to come in with all these varieties because previously there was a lot of popularity with impersonalism and the supreme Brahman, and so which is correct as far as absolute truth, but up to a point there's more to be known. There's more to be known, and so that more to be known, Lord Chaitanya wanted to appear Panchatattva. So Prabhupada thought that this was very, very important. As I said, he didn't know that whether he would live long enough to translate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. As it was, he did live long enough anyway. Now very mercifully we've got Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. But we never had that in the beginning days. We never had Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. All we had really was teachings of Lord Chaitanya. We didn't have any other work. We didn't have Chaitanya Bhagavat and Bhakti Ratnaka or Chaitanya Mangala, which are available today. So many works today available that we can read about the life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees. We didn't have any of that in the beginning days. We had Lord Chaitanya, his life and precepts. What was it? Yeah, Lord Chaitanya, his life and precepts. So then we had this book, Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Lord Chaitanya in 5, just a little book. And we were selling that book, and we were reading that book. Prabhupada asked us many times, are you reading my book? Yes, you are selling my book, but are you reading my books? One thing to sell, but you have to read first. Then you will sell very nicely. You have to read and understand. And so I remember one time we were in Prabhupada's room, and we were introduced as the booksellers and the Sankirtan devotees. And they said, very good, we're very happy, but you have to be reading my books also. Very, very important. So Lord Chaitanya has arisen, just like the sun and moon on the horizon, simultaneously. Very rare thing to see the sun and the moon. Sometimes you may see it if the sun is setting late or the moon is coming up early. Today is full moon, and so the Lord appeared on the full moon. And so when you have the sun and moon, the sun is giving the enlightenment and the moon is giving the soothing rays. So when you have the enlightenment and the soothing rays, you have the forms of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda appearing to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. So we're very fortunate. The golden avatar, the Lord's form is golden, like molten gold. I was giving a class the other night, and I was saying that the description is like molten gold covered with saffron. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas order, he would wear the saffron cloth. So the saffron, just like I'm wearing the saffron cloth. So his description is the hue of this body was like molten gold. Now you have gold, and then when you have molten, when they heat it and melt it, it's just effulgent, another level. So, but covered in saffron. Very beautiful description. And so that is the color also. Molten gold is also the color of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani's form is described in that way also, I've read, and many places, that she's described as molten gold. So Krishna took the hue and colour of Srimati Radharani, molten gold. It is said wherever Srimati Radharani walks, all the pebbles and the stones, they turn to gold. I was giving a class some time ago about when Balaram was looking for Krishna. Now Balaram, his colour sometimes is described as being like crystal. Crystal. Actually, the hues and the colours of the spiritual world are not really manifest in this world. We have some idea, but we cannot see the actual colours of the spiritual world. They're on another level again. So, but just some idea, some descriptions are given. So sometimes the Lord Balaram is described as having a crystal colour, a beautiful crystal colour, and it said wherever he walks, all the pebbles and stones turn to crystal. And wherever Krishna walks, all his the imprints on his lotus feet are left in the sand and everything like that. So everyone knows where Krishna is going by following the footprints of Krishna. Where Radharani, when Balaram was looking for Krishna one time, he was following his foot, then he saw all of a sudden some golden pebbles with the other footprints. Oh, right, he's with Radha now. So maybe I shouldn't disturb. So, wonderful description. So, molten gold is the hue, and of course Lord Nityananda was more the colour of Lord Balaram. His colour was more like that. Now this is a very famous verse that Krishnadas Kaviraj, the next verse I'll read, Krishnadas Kaviraj quotes, actually, when you read through Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, almost, especially in Adi Leela, he almost at the beginning of every chapter he quotes this verse, Anapita chiram chirat, Anapita charim chirat, Karunaya vatina kolo, samapayatum unatojvala, rasamspa bhakti sriyam, Hari purata sundara judikadamba sandipata, Sara ridaya kandare spuratuva sachinandana. He says, may the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. This is like a blessing given by Krishnadas Kaviraj to all of us who read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Imagine, someone comes, some great personality, he comes and gives you the blessing. May the form known as who is the son of Srimati Sachi Devi be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. He is resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love, Madhurya Rasa. So this is the special mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No other incarnation has given this benediction of this type of rasa. The other night I was talking about Rasika Bhaktas. Yesterday morning, I think, in the class, I was telling about Devananda Pandit and how Srivas Thakur came to his class, and of course Srivas Thakur, he is Rasika Bhakta. So rasa means the different rasas, especially Dasya Ras and Sakya Ras, Madhurya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Madhurya Ras. Now, Madhurya Rasa, and there's different higher levels, and of course the highest level is the level of Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. Vipralamba, especially her mood of separation from Krishna, that is even more intense than when than when she's with Krishna. Because when she's separated from Krishna, she thinks of him even more. And also the added quality of anticipation is added when I'll meet him again. So that is not there when she's meeting him. But when he's away, she's anticipating meeting him. So that adds an extra flavor. So in other words, the Vipralamba, that level, that is there in the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he is giving that mood to all who come under his shelter. So therefore, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, he says here that the most sublime, radiant mellow of devotional service. Causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. So now the people of Kali Yuga, he appeared in the age of Kali. People of Kali Yuga are not really very worthy of getting the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and in that they're so materially absorbed and involved in many sinful activities. And we were talking yesterday that always quarrelling and doing harm to each other. Very, very unfortunate situation. Not very qualified mostly. I mean, there may be some few, but mostly they're not very qualified to get the Lord's mercy. When Krishna came, as I said yesterday, that he said, you surrender unto me and I will give you all protection. But who is thinking about that in the Kali Yuga? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much thinking of these things. They will not surrender. They're so steeped and entangled in the materialistic activities. But nevertheless, they are not at all wanting. They are not at all interested. and they engage in very materialistic activities, sometimes very sinful activities. Nevertheless, I'm going to give my mercy and uplift them to the position of spiritual life. And not only of the position of spiritual life, they will go to if they are following the instructions, just like Lord Chaitanya, he only left the Shikshashtakam, which we chant every morning. And if you follow the Shikshashtakam in this mood, you can, and be a good devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you'll get his mercy and be elevated to Madhurya Ras, the mood of Srimati Radharani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would manifest different moods. Sometimes he would manifest Manjari Bhava. Manjari means the young gopis. Sometimes when Radha and Krishna have pastimes, they are so intimate that Radharani is a little bit shy to have them with Lalita and Vishaka because they're the same age roundabout. So therefore, when they go in an intimate situation in a kunja or something like that, the Vrinda Devi sends in the manjaris, and they're younger girls. They prepare everything, flowers, everything, make everything beautiful, and whatever Radha and Krishna want, the manjaris are there to serve them. And so because they're young girls, pre-pubescent, Radha is more comfortable. They are just young girls, and so, but she's more embarrassed with girls her own age. So, but because they're young girls, they go in. So sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he manifests that mood. There's different sections you can read where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes how he's following the manjaris in to assist Radha and Krishna in their pastimes. So sometimes he manifests Manjari Bhava, but mainly as Radha Bhava, Krishna Prema, on the highest level. This is the topmost level of conjugal love. So that is the mellow that has been offered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No incarnation has given this before. Incarnations, expansions, one gets the mercy and the blessings, one can be elevated, but to go to the high levels of prema, Madhurya Ras, that is only offered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So generally it is said, Sarup Siddhi, each one of us has our eternal rasa with Krishna. It may be in Dasya Ras, in Sakya Ras, and so on, Vatsalya Ras. But if we become under the shelter of Lord Chaitanya, whatever our eternal ras, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can be changed to Madhurya Ras. Normally the ras is fixed, but that is our eternal rasa. But by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can come to Madhurya Ras. So this is a special benediction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. He is combination Radha and Krishna. Now, I'll just read a few more of these verses. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrite Ladini Shakti Asmad. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities, Radha and Krishna, have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. So this position is not understood by many. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Even India, where many people are very pious, they practice some form of spiritual life, not so many have heard of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And even if they have heard of him, they don't understand him. Even amongst devotees, one has to get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda and Panchatattva to come into the innermost, very intimate understanding. Who is Sri Krishna Chaitanya? So previously, Radha and Krishna, two separate personalities, they have come together as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva, desiring to understanding the glories of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord, Hari, richly endowed with her emotions appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. So sometimes Lord Chaitanya is compared to the sun, sometimes the moon rising from the ocean here. And so these are the more internal reasons for the descent of Krishna coming as Chaitanya. There is one, what's called outside reason. He wanted to distribute this love of God, this prem, Krishna prem, in the form, of course, of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Iti sora shakam nam nam kali kalmasanasanam nata parat parayopaya savavedishu drishyate Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This one time when Narad Muni went to see Lord Brahma, he was worried about how the people of the Kali Yuga would get salvation. They are not very qualified to do anything spiritual. And Lord Brahma, he answered in this way. This is from the Kali Shantirana Upanishad. Iti soda shakam nam nam. Yes, there was one way. Yes, the Kali Yuga people are very unfortunate, but in one way, through this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and there everything is there in Hare Krishna Mantra. Radharani is there, Hare Krishna, Rama, all the spiritual energies are infused in this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So Lord Chaitanya, everywhere he went, he was chanting. The other night at Macquarie Field, the program, at Vaman Chetra, I was singing Krishna, 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 Hey. Rama, 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 Krishna, 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 Pahimam, Rakshamam, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rakshamam, Rama, Raghava, Pahimam. So I was chanting that Lord Chaitanya, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, was stating that Lord Chaitanya liked to chant this mantra, and of course he liked to chant Hare Krishna mantra. So this was like what's called the outward reason for the Lord's descent, the outward reason that he was giving to all. This Maha Mantra, everything is there, Ladini Shakti, everything, Supreme Godhead, Prema, everything is there actually in Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We don't need anything else. We just chant Hare Krishna, especially without any offences, just purely. We just chant, we can go to the highest position. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift to all of us. I remember one time, one lady, after a Sunday talk I gave, she said, what do you do for your meditation? I said, we chant Hare Krishna. What else do you do? I said, we chant more Hare Krishna. So there's no need. If you don't chant Hare Krishna, then perhaps you have to do so many things. But if you chant Hare Krishna, then that's just all you do. And just more chanting and increase the quality of your chanting. If you chant, actually there's one verse, Tadasma Sadamridayam Bhatidam Yadgiriyamani Harinamadiyai. There's one verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam said, if you chant Hare Krishna and you're not crying, that means your heart is hard like a stone. It is like stone. Because actually someone who's very advanced has great love and affection for Krishna. When they chant Krishna, they can hardly chant Krishna. Their voice chokes up with love, the tears, and they become all choked up and they cry. And just like Lord Chaitanya, he was crying. We read so many descriptions at Ratha Yatra, how he was spinning and just crying. So much crying was coming. He was wetting everyone practically when he was dancing. And so someone who is actually advanced, they cry. They are rasika. But unfortunately, we are vairasika. What's called rasika and vairasika or vairasika. There's rasika bhakta and vairasika bhakta. We don't have much rasa as yet. Of course, if we follow nicely, we can come up to that platform. But that is a very high level. We just have to be patient and just follow everything nicely. And that will be bestowed upon us. Krishna will give us that blessing. You will experience what is the real deep rasa. But that is all there in Hare Krishna mantra. And then, of course, the more inner reasons, as described a little bit here by Krishnadas Kaviraj, is that Krishna wanted to, there's one story that I've told a few times. Narad Muni, another occasion, he was again worried about the people of the Kali Yuga. He went to see Krishna and Rukmini in the Dwarka of the spiritual world. Narad Muni has a spiritual body. He can go from this world to the spiritual world and back. No problem. So he went to see them in the Dwarka of the spiritual world, in the Krishna Loka. And so at that time, Radharani had come to see Queen Rukmini And when she saw him, she was very happy. She started to cry. And Krishna said, "Why are you crying? I thought you would be very happy to see me." And she said, "Oh, you don't know, Krishna. I'm crying out of love for you. I'm very happy. These are tears of happiness and love. And my love, I have so much love for you." And Krishna actually said, this love that my devotee has for me, I've experienced all things, but this I want to experience, that actually I want to be in the position of the subject and not the object. Generally, Krishna is the object. He wanted to be the subject. And so I want to experience this. I experienced all things, but I want to experience this. And also, and Rukmini said, actually, your Srimati Radharani has the most love. If you want to experience, you have to understand what Srimati Radharani's love is. And actually it is said that Srimati Radharani has more love than Krishna has for her, although in one sense it's neither one nor the other. Both have love for each other. But technically speaking, she has more love for him than he has for her. Although he has so much love for her, she has even more for him. So he wants to understand what is that more love that she has for him. And why is she attracted to him? And why are devotees in general, they're attracted to his form, to his beauty. So he wants to experience how the devotees are attracted to his own beauty. There's another internal reason. To experience Srimati Radharani's love, to experience why she has more love for him than he does for her, and why everyone is attracted to his beauty. So he wants to experience. These are the more internal reasons for Krishna's descent. Just at that time, Narad Muni arrived. And he said, "I'm worried," although Krishna knew everything already for the people of the Kali Yuga. And Krishna said, "Just now I've been talking to Rukmini and I've decided to come in a form to taste the love of my devotees, and especially Radha's love for me, and to distribute that love to everyone. And so I want to come in a form that to experience that." So just at that time he showed Narad Muni the form of Lord Gauranga. Lord Gauranga. And so Narad Muni, and the effulgence, the description is given by Lochan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Mangala, that that form was so effulgent that Narad Muni couldn't even look. He had to cover his eyes because he had to close his eyes because he couldn't look at the effulgence of the Lord in the form of Lord Gauranga. He told. He came back to his form of Krishna, and he told Narad Muni that you go everywhere and tell everyone in the future I'm coming in this form, and I'll distribute this love of God to one and all, and just freely. Doesn't matter who they are, what their qualifications. If they want to come, then I will distribute. Even those who don't want to come, I will distribute. So just like our Sankirtan movement, Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement, we're participants in Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement, and we're going everywhere and distributing this love of Godhead through, especially in the form of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So here Krishnadas Kaviraj. Now we're running out of time a little bit, so I've got some other things. Of course, now Sava Sadguna Purnam Tam, that I offer my respectful obeisances unto the full moon evening of the month of Falguna, the auspicious time, full of auspicious symptoms, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented himself with the chanting of the holy name Hare Krishna. At that time there was an eclipse, if you read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and everyone was chanting the holy names. Some of them were in the Ganga, submerged, and they were chanting to counteract the ill effects of the eclipse. And just at that time, Lord Chaitanya, the Lord took his birth. In jubilation, everyone was chanting Hari Hari. And Lord Chaitanya then appeared, first causing the appearance of the holy name. Isn't it interesting? First he came in the form of the name. Krishna can appear in any form. He can appear in sound. And first of all he appeared as sound as the chanting. As the chanting. I remember reading one letter that Srila Prabhupada had sent Rida Nanda Maharaj, where Rida Nanda Maharaj had asked Prabhupada to come to Brazil because there were many devotees waiting for initiation. And so Prabhupada answered that, yes, I will come, but the initiator is already there. The initiator in the form of his name, Krishna. Krishna is actually the initiator. I will come and do the formality, ceremony, everything like that. So actually Krishna appears in his name. So first of all he caused the holy name to appear, and then he appeared. So right throughout his childhood, of course, we know there's many stories that how he induced people. When the Lord was a little baby, he would sometimes cry, and then they would the little ladies would try to get him to stop crying. They would begin chanting, and only when when they would chant, then he would stop crying, and then they stopped chanting, then he would cry again, and then when they would chant, he'd stop. So he was also. There's many stories like that. Gaura Hari, from then on, Gaura, the golden, the golden form, Gauranga, Gaura Hari, we say Gaura Hari. He is the Supreme Lord with the molten complexion, Gaura Hari. That became one of his names right in that period. And so, of course, just outlining a little bit the pastimes, he had the different stages of his life, the baby, the youth, and then the baby, the Baal and Poganda and Kaishora and the Jovanam age, just like Krishna had these different ages. Later on he did get married to Lakshmi Priya, and then she passed away from the world, and he got married again to Vishnu Priya. Then at the age of 24 he took the sannyas order of life, and he went to Jagannath Puri. There's one beautiful story that's told. Before he went to Jagannath Puri, he went to one garden, and he was accompanied by Gadadhar Pandit and Jagannananda Pandit, and he saw a parrot in the tree, and he called out to the parrot. He said, "Hey parrot, you are Vyasadev's son. Chant the glories of Radha and Krishna." So the parrot just started chanting, "Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari." And Lord Chaitanya, he actually grabbed the parrot and he said, "You chant." He was talking to the parrot like that. And Gaura Hari, and then he became a little angry. "Why are you chanting Gaura Hari?" I said, "Chant Radha and Krishna." He threw the parrot away. And so, "Chant Radha Krishna, chant Radha Krishna." And again the parrot, "Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari." So then Lord Chaitanya, he said, "Why are you chanting my name like that?" He said, "Well, actually, Krishna is here. You are Krishna come again." And then he looked at Gadadhar Pandit, and over here is Srimati Radharani. And of course, you are also Radha combined together. So, Gaura Hari. As from Prema Vivata, told by Jagannananda Pandit, this particular Leela. There's another Leela that I'll tell just before we finish. That when Lord Chaitanya was going to Jagannath Puri, sometimes he would walk so fast that the others couldn't keep up with him, feeling ecstasy, wanting to go and see Jagannath. Because he was, Jagannath is the high form of Krishna in separation, the whole story of Lord Jagannath. So he wanted to go there and see Lord Jagannath. And so sometimes he would go so fast the others would be left behind. And so as he was coming, there was one young boy. He had a pot and he was selling buttermilk. He was selling buttermilk from the family. He was selling the buttermilk. And Lord Chaitanya went ahead and the others were behind. And he stopped there and he looked at the boy. What have you got? "Oh, I've got some buttermilk. I'm selling buttermilk." He said, "Oh, I'm very thirsty. Can you give me some buttermilk?" So Lord Chaitanya, he took the buttermilk. He drank all the buttermilk. And he said, "Oh, thank you very much. It's very wonderful buttermilk. I haven't got any money, but my friends are just coming behind. They will pay you. They will pay you." And the boy said,